you guys want a chance to win this poster, all you guys have to do is first, number one, subscribe. Second, like this video. And third, which is probably the most important thing, leave a comment below saying poster contest. And you could enter a chance to win this official poster between Conor McGregor and Khabib.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off?
My balls was hot.
I understand.
Let's go over the Derek Lewis versus Alexander Volkan fight, man. I don't know if I pronounced his last name right, but you guys know what I'm talking about. This fight was freaking epic. Could be fight of the night. Derek Lewis was losing the entire fight. Volkan was just picking him apart. There's times in the first and the second round where Volkan almost finished Derek Lewis, like this close. But Derek Lewis just covered up and survived, man. He's a freaking warrior, and in this fight, he proved why he deserved a title shot, man. He just covered up, and basically the entire fight, he covered up, survived, and then it's probably like 45 seconds left in the third round where Derek Lewis, he transformed. He was Derek Lewis, and then he turned into Tyron Woodley and just starched him. Like, he honestly looked like a bigger version of Tyron Woodley when he came out with that attack. He threw a jab and then came over with the hook. Boom. He threw the jab, it caught Alexander in his chest, I believe, and then he came over with the hook, boom, and caught him, man. Alexander fell like a freaking building, man, because the man's like 6'7", tall as hell. I'm surprised Derek Lewis didn't have to jump to hit him. All right, so let's move on to OSP versus Dominic Reyes. I seen Dominic fought in his last fight. I forgot who it was against, but his striking looked pretty freaking good, man. He's pretty precise, has really crisp, good technique, and he has really powerful leg kicks. But facing OSP is explosive as hell. There's times where he waits around, he sits around too much and wait for the opponent to strike, and he ends up losing fights like that because he gets picked apart. This Reyes, man, just, god damn, he's technical as shit, man. He's a technical, crisp, precise striker, man. The light heavyweight division really needs somebody right now, and I feel like he's it, man. He finished a tough OSP. OSP went 5 rounds with John Jones, but Reyes looked pretty good, pretty crisp, and he made a standout performance, man. He caught OSP with an uppercut and just walk-off KO. There's a lot of controversy with that fight. People think the ref stopped it too early. I actually thought the ref stopped it too early when I watched it the first time. But when they showed a replay over and over again, OSP was out of it, man. He dropped, and like you could see him trying to fight to get back up, but he was like just out of it. Like he was like fighting to get back up, but he couldn't move. Like his body wasn't there. His mind, it just wasn't there. And to me, it was a good stoppage because you could see OSP trying to get back up, and like his brain would just not function. His brain is telling his body to get back up, but his body would just not function. He was just stuck trying to get back up. So you could clearly see he's out of it. All right, but let's move on to Tony Ferguson versus Anthony Pettis. Tony Ferguson came out there just applying the pressure like he always does. Forward pressure, getting hit, not backing up at all. Forward pressure, throwing kicks, throwing that T kick, just being a freaking Mexican animal, man. Just coming forward, just a lot of pressure, man. Just it looked. At the start of the fight, it looked like it was too much pressure for Anthony Pettis, but Pettis caught him, rocked him, and then Tony Ferguson was just rolling, man, like just rolling, like literally rolling away from Pettis, man. Tony Ferguson is so crafty, weird, and just amazing at the same time, man. He was rocked, hurt in that fight. He just kept rolling away from it, survived. Pettis got on top, try to ground and pound him, but Tony Ferguson is a freaking G, man. He's a champ. He's a champ. He survived it, came back in the second round. He came back in the second round like he didn't just get hurt in the first. Came back, throwing, applying the pressure, and just breaking Pettis down, just breaking him down piece by piece by piece by piece. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was the second round when Anthony Pettis went back to his corner. He called a fight. I believe he broke his hand or whatever, but to me, I was happy that Tony Ferguson got the win because I'm a Tony Ferguson fan. I like to see him fight, but I was kind of disappointed in Anthony Pettis, man. Like, freaking Robert Whittaker fought with a broken arm. You didn't see him calling off fight. I feel like Anthony Pettis cut himself short with that one, man. He should have never called a fight. He should have tried to keep going because he had Tony Ferguson rocked in the second round. He was doing damage on Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson left that fight bleeding and badly hurt. And I felt like Anthony Pettis just quit. Like, I understand your hand is broken, but come on, dude. Like, if Anthony Pettis had won this fight, he probably would have got a title shot. This is like, fights like this, you just got to go through it, just grind through it. I know I never had a broken hand. I never fought with a broken hand in my life before, but if I'm a fight away from getting the title, you got to keep going. You can't call off fights because your hand's broken or whatever. Just keep going. Now, let's move on to the freak show. Let's move on to Conor McGregor versus Khabib, man. This fight was crazy. I had picked Conor to win, but deep down inside, I knew he was going to lose. Deep down in my heart, man, I knew he was going to lose. When I saw Conor walking out and the fight had just started, he walked out, he did his little, his little dance. I wasn't like excited for the fight. I wasn't nervous for the fight. I was just numb. I'm like, bro, if Khabib gets his hands on Conor, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. That's all I was thinking about before the fight had started. And when the fight started, man, Conor came out, hands down. I just believe Conor was just too relaxed for this fight. He came out with his hands down, talking to him as soon as the fight started. And he was trying to pick his shots, but within at least 30 seconds, Khabib shoots. Grab one leg. Conor did a good job of defending it at the start, but Khabib eventually found his way on top, which he always does because he's the best freaking grappler in the world. The third round, man. The third round, Conor was almost out of it, man. Khabib, of course, gets the takedown again and just ground and pound the shit out of Conor. I don't know how Conor survived that third round. I really don't know. Freaking Herb Dean was right there getting ready to rush in because Khabib was just beating the shit out of Conor, man. Like, literally just beating. God damn, man. You can't ride your goddamn dirt bike somewhere else. But Khabib was just beating the brakes off of Conor. Like we said about Khabib. Like we always said about Khabib. He just literally mauled Conor the entire third round. Conor found it somehow to survive that round. But in the fourth round, no, actually in the third round, Khabib also caught Conor. Khabib did not only beat and maul Conor, he freaking knocked him down. Khabib is the first person to drop Conor. Like, Khabib's not a striker. To me, that Conor should have never let that happen, man. That's what you get for underestimating a guy striking. You're still in there. He still has on gloves. He's still able to fight. There's a couple times in the third round where he stood up with Conor for at least 2-3 minutes, and Conor was trying to land some stuff, but I noticed every time Conor tried to land the left hand, he would always slip. It looked like the ground was slippery or something, but he would always lose his balance in some of the exchanges. But Khabib, much respect to you, bro. You came out there, you did your thing, you fucking mauled Conor, and then at the end, when he choked out Conor, Herb Dean had literally had to drag Khabib off of Conor. He was talking shit to Conor, and then he looked over, he saw Dylan Dennis talking shit to him, threw his mouthpiece at the cage, and then he came over talking shit. Somebody confronted Khabib, like holding him back a little bit, and then before you know it, that motherfucker was over the cage, literally flied like an eagle and tried to kick Dylan Dennis in his face. And then the brawl started. As soon as he jumped down there, started fighting with Dylan Dennis. That got broken up. Conor was in the cage. I believe it was just Conor. A lot of security people, one of Khabib's training partners tried to hop over the cage to go fight with Conor's team. And Conor jumped up on the cage, caught him with the left hand, and then him and Conor started fighting. He came back down in the cage and him and Conor started fighting. And then more of Khabib's goons jumped in and started fighting Conor. So they're holding one guy, the security is holding one guy, and this other guy try to fight with Conor. Conor threw a punch, and then somebody else jumps in behind Conor and sucker punches him. Like, this shit was chaotic. The biggest fuck up from that fight is Khabib's teammate Khabib teammates jumping Conor in the ring after Conor just got finished. He's hurt. Why are you trying to fight the hurt guy? Like, he's just been choked out. He just lost the biggest fight of his career. Why are you jumping Conor? Like, that was the only thing I was disgusted by. I didn't have no problem with Khabib jumping over and getting into a little brawl with Dylan Dennis. He didn't really land anything on him, but coming in and fighting a hurt, injured fighter, that's pretty fucked up in my opinion. But it is what it is, man. Let me know what you guys think about this recap. Make sure to comment below if you guys want the poster. It's your boy J Gamer, man. I'm out of here.